Okay, we're back. We are back, y'all. All right, so I don't know if YouTube is going under like some updates or something like that because there was issues with the live stream. All right. I do know that there is some changes that's going on with YouTube in regards to um, the way they monetize channels and the way they work the analytics and stuff like that. So that could be something that's going on right now. But let's get back to our messages, right? Um, the first few messages are definitely going to be in regards to where you are. Um, actually, let's start first with what's coming next. What's coming next for the collective? What's coming next? What's coming in next? What there? Wow, the same freaking card came out, y'all. The same freaking card came out. That's crazy. So be patient. You guys could be in a because this talks about like sitting in the dark, right? Um, you guys can be in a place energetically where you might not be able to see things clearly. You might not be able to see everything, all right? Which doesn't allow you to make certain choices or decisions or to act or react, right? Um, in the previous video, I was talking about how the flame talks about energy, it talks about passion, it talks about um, committing to something for long term, or angel number 222. In the previous reading, the angel number was 111. Okay. So things are happening step by step, right? And so, whatever you're going through right now, especially if it's difficulties, obstacles, issues, whatever it is, it's going to pass. Okay. There's two candles here. So I do feel like there could be two different or two distinctive, two separate occasions, scenarios, circumstances that are occurring for you right now. And what's coming next is for you to sit still, possibly meditate, maybe light some more candles, maybe pray about it, maybe be able to fuel the fire within you, maintain the fire within you, the passion within you, the energy within you to continue moving forward. Okay. We have the little dolphins here. Be with those who help your being. You need people that help you. You need people that understand you. You need people that advocate for you. That's what you need. You need a support system. You need a supportive community, right? So, what's coming up next is you're going through a lot and you need support, right? Wherever this is in your life, you're going through some things and you need support. You need a support system, right? And so what's coming next is identifying the support system for you, identifying those people that are going to either that those people or that person. I said people because I see two dolphins there, right? But it could just be you and this other person, right? Um, that is kind of like a soul family, soul tribe, right? People that understand you on a spiritual note, someone that can understand you on an emotional note, because I believe dolphins and whales are very emotional animals, right? So that is definitely coming out here for you guys. We have the ship in the reverse. So there was a lack of progress or a lack of movement. That's what that tells me. So coming up next, you need to address these things. Why have you stopped moving in a certain direction? Was it because you were not in alignment with that specific direction any longer? Was it because you weren't seeing clearly where you were headed and you realized that, maybe that's not the relationship that I wanted? Maybe that's not the friendship that I wanted. Maybe that's not the job that I wanted. Maybe that's not the expectation I should have had in that certain circumstance, right? Whatever it may be for you guys. And you may have needed to redirect your energy, redirect your moves, basically, like the next thing that you needed to do. Maybe you needed to kind of rehash things out. Okay. So what's coming in next is kind of recalibrating the direction in which you want to head in. Identifying the specific people. All right. Is number 555. There could be a change of roster of people that need to be around you. Okay. We have the eyeglass in the reverse. Okay. So what is coming next? I don't think that you're looking too much into other people's lives. All right. The eyeglass to me is kind of like spying or magnifying something that could be small, right? You're not into like blowing things out of proportion. What's coming next? You're not going to be doing a little spy back and forth little game that you used to do before. If you did at some point do that, you're not doing that anymore. The person that you used to look at or look for through social media or just look for socially, you're not looking for them, right? That energy. We have the hearts, the Cupid hearts, all right, in the reverse, okay? Maybe you're not chasing love, you're attracting it. You're not chasing it, I'm attracting it, okay? I'm not going to force this arrow to hit you. If it naturally comes, it comes. I'm not going to force it. That's the energy that's giving. We have the hands here, but the hands are in the reverse. But it's interesting because these hands, we just like zoom it in for y'all. If it lets me. So there's a blue hand here and there's like a red hand here. And whenever we see like the blue and the red together, there we go. The blue and the red together definitely talks about like twin flames, right? But this is like hot and cold, right? The fact that this card specifically is in the reverse, it talks about having closed hands instead of open hands, right? Rejecting or just pushing away. There we go, like pushing away someone that wants to hold you or wants to welcome you with love. All right. There's an issue here with receiving. Okay. So coming up next, there could be difficulties in regards to receiving help, receiving love, receiving compassion, receiving money. Something about being open to receiving. There's issues there when it comes to you opening up your hand, opening up your energy to receive. Okay. And then your final message here in terms of what's coming next is the pink cactus. So with this pink cactus, you're still giving this like very feminine energy, but it's very prickly, right? And so with the prickly energy here, there's still pain, right? So listen to that pain, right? Don't react because of the pain. That will be your shadow attribute. Don't react because of the pain. Acknowledge the pain. Give the pain a voice. Give the pain a character, right? So that way you can talk back and forth with that said pain, and that's how you work on your healing. Okay. For those of you that are joining my spiritual apprenticeship program, I will be focusing on a lot of techniques of healing. All right. Because there's so many more different types of techniques when it comes to meditating, Meditation is not just, again, meditation is not avoidance. Meditation is to become one with the world, the universe, yourself, and the other people around you. And so you can also utilize meditation to become one with your higher self and your shadow self together and merge together. So that way you can feel complete and whole. So you can feel finally seen the way that other people may not have seen you or wanted to acknowledge you or even validate you at some point in time. And so I do teach this in the spiritual apprenticeship on how to validate yourself, on how to journal certain prompts so that way you can really get to the root of the cause, right? To really not just like point the finger and say this is what's hurting and this is this person's fault. It's more so of like, okay, I've experienced this. And now that I've experienced this, how am I going to grow? How I'm going to utilize this pain and transmute it into something more kind, more loving, more passionate for myself, so that way I can keep persevering in my spiritual path, right? So it's a more like get to know you and the new version of you that you're developing in your spiritual journey, okay? If you guys are interested in that, the link to the memberships that you can join is down below in the description box. All right, we're going to move on to your current energy. All right, and we are using the Wisdom of the House of the Night deck. All right, when it comes to this. Again, if you utilize certain types of divination for yourself, or you like a specific type of divination form, whether it be oracle, tarot, runes, comment down below. Let me know what type of divination you guys like. All right. Let's see what's going on here. What is their current energy? The collective's current energy. Show me their current energy that they're dealing with. And I just saw a glimpse of something there. So just saw it. I know it's in there. Oh, there it is. Lust. It's funny because I was thinking about how the inner child, right? The inner child wounds that sometimes people go through and they experience, like, oh, well, my inner childhood is wounded and it's insecure, or my inner child is facing issues with accepting, certain body parts, or opening up intimately, or feeling free from a sexual perspective, right? So inner childhood wounds, even though it could be like codependency, or even though it could be like body image, stuff like that, that actually bleeds into who you're attracted to. Okay. And so if your current energy right now is in this energy of lust, and let's clarify that, right? Let's see what in regards to that specifically is coming out. We have success, and then we have honest. All right. So we put all these together. Right now, your current energy is that you want to be a little bit more successful in your intimate life. You want a more honest approach in regards to intimate, romantic, sexual connections. Okay. You want a connection that is going to be, now I don't want to say like a contract, but definitely something that is respected, right? Something that is labeled, something that is pure, right? With the honesty here, again, with the flame, there's another flame here. So there's 3 flames. We're counting. There's 3 flames. Okay. So we're talking about being patient. You may need to be patient in that department, angel number 444. Okay. You may need to be patient in that department in terms of, getting your your rocks off, okay? Because there's some wounds there that you might not see, and you might be inviting certain specific contracts, agreements, relationships with people that are not necessarily in vibration to who you want to be exactly, right? So with the energy of lust, I would say, even though, like, let's say you're highly attractive right now, there's a lot of people trying to take you on dates, or the other way around, you're very attracted to, a certain person, or you're getting a lot of specific type of attention. It's not necessarily the type of attention that you want, and so you need to slow down, right? You will be successful in getting and obtaining the relationship that you want, or to mold the specific relationship that you have in that form. But there's certain things that are underneath the surface that need to be reevaluated and looked at, okay? So with honesty here, this is not just being honest in the relationship itself and talking to your person. Okay, if you have a person, or if you're, when we say your person, this is like the person that you're with right now, or your love interest, meaning the person that you're getting to know, that you might get into a relationship with, okay? Just using specific type of vocabulary so you guys know the difference between both. And so with your particular person, if you have one, you may need to have more open, honest conversations on things that make you uncomfortable, and things that you do want to try, and things that are like just a no-go, okay? For those of you that, you're in the love interest department and you're getting to know people, this is very lusty energy, right? Lusty energy is not love. Lusty energy is like, once, that climax happens, you guys both look at each other and you go, well, that's it. Okay. And that's the honest truth. Right. And so you want to make sure that currently right now, you're not inviting energies that are kind of like that Knight of Wands, in and out, very quick, one and done type of situation. Right. And so you don't want to invite that type of energy. And if these things don't necessarily apply in that specific way for you, because this is a collective reading, then it may be that this is what you need to heal from. Maybe a possible relationship that was like that, or possibly healing so that way these certain things don't continue to happen, right? Kind of identifying, being honest with yourself on, like, am I welcoming this type of energy in? Do I have healthier boundaries now that I'm trying to welcome better energies in, right? Asking yourself the hard questions in regards to, like, your shadow attributes and your shadow self, like when you were the toxic version of you, right? And this is where we really get into the shadow work, right? So like when you start talking about, okay, well, the toxic version of me would have ... right? And for some of you guys, you're going back and forth. I'm seeing like a teeter-totter effect of your higher self, your shadow self, your higher self, your shadow self. And so like there's a battle there. And so being honest with yourself is the key indicator right now with this collective energy. Okay. Let's go a little bit more in regards to your current energy. Tell us more about their current energy. Okay, we have invisible, and then we have denial. So yeah, I'm gonna double down on the fact that there's certain things that you don't want to accept about yourself. There's certain things that you could have gotten yourself into certain situations that you don't want to talk about. You don't want to tell anybody, but you also don't want to accept it for yourself, right? You don't want to say like, yeah, that actually was my fault for talking to that person, or that was my fault for getting into that relationship, or that was my fault for even considering whatever that was, right? So, and then hiding. There's something about hiding. So this is like a shame. So this denial factor here, your current energy is like you're battling shame, insecurities, like issues that you could have, like maybe possibly like trauma in regards to intimate connections or relationships. not showing up for yourself, okay? Um, Temptation, right? These certain things are shadow attributes that currently, right now, you are like just swimming in. Like you're just swimming in it at this point, right? And so being honest with yourself is a key indicator of starting to do the work and heal, right? And so again, when we're healing, it's not about shaming, right? And I feel like that's probably something that needs to be focused on, especially like the past, maybe I'm saying 2024, 2025. Okay, so like maybe the past 2 years, okay, could be significant in terms of shaming yourself or blaming yourself and then hiding or hiding what you are ashamed of, whatever that is, that needs to be worked on right now. That's in your current energy, meaning that is something that is coming to the surface right now for you guys. And we have fragment. Okay. So with this fragment card, this really talks about like little tiny pieces. Like think about splinters or broken glass, right? And so when you are healing, it's like cleaning up a messy room. Okay. When you're healing, you need to organize things, right? But you have to prioritize what you clean first, right? So when you're cleaning, and we're using this metaphor specifically for your healing journey, when you're cleaning up your room, which is your heart space, okay, you want to organize what you need and what you don't need, right? You may stumble upon, as you're organizing, you may stumble upon some broken pieces. You may stumble upon some baggage. You may stumble upon old things that you forgot about. You may stumble upon things that don't fit you anymore. You may stumble upon things that don't resonate with you anymore. You may stumble upon things that you've completely forgotten about that you didn't even realize you were keeping, right? And so that big spacious room that you once had is now this thing that you could barely walk around in because you've been hoarding so many things. And so fragment is almost like you feel in some way or form you feel broken. Okay. So currently you feel broken, but these are the reasons why, right? It could be because of a certain intimate experience. It could be because of something that you're denying from yourself. And so denial doesn't always have to be like, oh, you're not telling yourself the truth. Denial can also be you're not allowing yourself to have something that you should have. Okay. And so, that fragmented pieces is like nobody, I'm hearing this wound of nobody's going to want me. Nobody's going to love me. Nobody's going to cherish me. No one's going to want a broken version of me, right? And so those trigger statements right there, whoever resonated with that a lot, that is this fragmented card, okay? That's what I'm picking up, and that's clarifying the denial too, right? And then we have trapped. So this trap energy is almost like a self-entrapment, and if we look underneath that, we have letting go. Okay, so you need to set yourself free. There's so many butterflies here, and even the bird here has wings, right? So there's a symbology of allowing yourself, like, to free yourself from these things, right? So there's a lot of things that are going on right now in your current energy that are bringing these things to the surface. Okay, let's see what's going on here in regards to your healing message, and that's going to be through the eyes of the soul. I really love this deck. Okay. Let's see what comes out. What is their healing messages? Their healing messages. Just gonna go 2, 1, and 2. And we're gonna look at the bottom of the deck. This is a reversal, but we have let peace prevail. Okay. White horse energy. We have a shield here. There's a nice masculine on the road in a prayer stance. Okay. But also has a sword. Okay. And so some of you guys could really resonate with laying down your burdens. Just, I'd rather not talk about it, right? I'd rather not have a conversation with this person. I'd rather not say, right? And so that aspect there, healing sometimes means, for you guys in this context, healing sometimes means that you may need to know the difference of when to speak to someone about something and when to kind of keep something to yourself. Okay. And with this denial factor, the invisible factor, the honesty thing, it's giving nothing's wrong with me, everything's fine. I'm doing great, right? And that is a mask. So you may need to heal whatever is creating the domino effect of putting on that mask. Okay. Then we have a new door is opening. Okay. A new door is opening. This chick, she has a hawk in her hand. All right. And I talked to you guys about like the different animal guides and stuff like that, that may come up for you guys. I just get it to Zoom. There we go. All right, there we go. There's a little castle in the background. Okay. I do feel like when we talk about imagery here, the castle to me feels like something that you dreamed up when you were younger. Okay. Like an expectation of something when you were younger. So healing also means connecting with your inner child, getting to like remember what your inner child wanted. What was your inner child fantasizing about? You know, connecting with your inner child and kind of sitting there and remembering what daydreaming is like, right? Because as we grow up, we kind of forget what daydreaming is, or I don't want to say we forget. I feel like we substitute. We substitute daydreaming for brainstorming. We substitute daydreaming and, manifesting through like visualization with like everything that worries us, right? As we grow up and we have more responsibilities and things like that. Um, and so it may be time for you to like as you're healing or targeting your healing, experiencing, right, healing certain things, you may need to kind of daydream a little bit, right? Now I'm not saying get into your Delulu phase, but I am definitely saying allow your mind to wander without limits, without limitations, without saying that can't be possible, without saying how is that going to happen or who's going to help me, or don't ask questions. Just allow the things to just happen while you're manifesting. Don't worry about how you're going to get the car that you've been manifesting about. Just think about where you're going to go in that car. Think about how the car is going to sound when you turn it on. Think about what's the first song that you're going to play in that car. For some of you guys, it could be like a house. Think about how many rooms are going to be in the house. Think about what type of carpet is it. Is there going to be carpet there? Are you going to have pool parties? Are you going to have a housewarming party? What type of neighbors do you want? Things like that. Don't, because what happens is that your shadow self creates these scenarios that yes is likely to happen, but it's more on the less percentage to happen. Like it's on like the 9 or like 6% to happen likely, right? but for you, it feels very real. It feels very prominent. It feels like 100% true that this is exactly how everything's going to crumble, right? And so, whether that be in regards to relationships, or in regards to money, or in regards to family, or in regards to like a goal that you have, right? Your shadow self likes to stomp things out. Your shadow self likes to intimidate you. Your shadow self likes to break things apart, kind of like stacking up Jenga blocks, and then kicking it over, right? And so your manifestation is those Jenga blocks that you're building. And so your shadow self likes to do these certain things so that way you do not progress, or do not attempt to get yourself in a situation that may happen, where things may fall apart, even though there's no for certain sure sign that it will fall apart, right? So your shadow self is trying to help you by destroying what you're trying to build before you can even actually solidify it. Okay. This is where the pessimism starts kicking in. This is where the you're going to fail. That's not going to work. That only works for these type of people. That only work for them. That's not going to work for you. Or who's going to help you, or no one's going to help you, or no one's going to like that. And, like all of these things that your shadow attributes comes out with is just a way to not get you to the point of actually feeling like a failure, and then getting depressed about it. So it's almost like fast tracking you failing before you even fail, right? So it's like, all right, well, this is what's going to happen when you fail. And then you get so disappointed in thinking, like, in allowing your shadow self to say all these things to you, right? And when these new things come up for you, you go, oh, never mind, right? And this goes right back to what? Denial, denying yourself something that you actually truly want, something that you actually wanted to manifest, something that you actually want to experience, right? So there's a new door that is opening, and all you have to do is step over the threshold. You didn't even have to open the door. The door is wide open. All you have to do is walk in. But your shadow self, this is the healing message. Your shadow self is intimidating you. If you walk over here, it's going to be so scary. If you walk over here, there's no reason, because there's no surprise over here. You're going to be wasting your time if you walk over that threshold, right? That's your shadow self. Okay. So be careful with your shadow self intimidating you at this time. All right. We have seek the symbols, decipher their meanings. All right. Synchronicities, confirmations. What are they? They are like little gem pieces. All right. Think about Mario. Okay. When you're playing Mario, and Mario has these little blocks. Okay. And he hops up and he hits block, and then sometimes he gets coins and sometimes he gets boosters, right? And so in this specific type of phase here, I'm seeing like you're getting booster after booster after booster, and you're not realizing that these are confirmations and signs like, hey, that's going to help me. And oh, that's going to help me. And oh, this is helping me right now, right? These are confirmations, right? When we talk about angel numbers are more so descriptive confirmations, especially if you guys are into like journaling about them, and because all the angel numbers may come up to you, like certain people have specific type of angel numbers that come up in their life for specific reasons. Okay. Like angel number 111 is not always going to be a new beginning, right? It can mean something completely different, right? For each and every one of you. And so it depends on where you are in your spiritual journey, your spiritual enlightenment, your spiritual ascension, and your spiritual development. Okay. Because someone can be spiritually ascending, but they have not gone through spiritual enlightenment. Someone could be going through spiritual enlightenment and might have not developed their spiritual gift yet, right? And so everybody has their own journey, and their own journey is developed in a different way because everyone has free will, and our choices become a factor of how things unravel and unfold for us. Okay. So, with your spirit guides communicating with you, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, as well as the angels speaking to you, letting you know, hey, this is confirming this manifestation, possibly a candle that you did, possibly whatever you did on the altar. Maybe you did a cleanse. Maybe you were working on spiritual health maintenance. Maybe you did a vision board. Maybe you decided to apply for a job, right? Maybe you started to get to know somebody romantically, and then you start seeing the angel numbers, right? So you have to pay attention to what have you been actively doing and shifting in your physical life and correlating that back to, ever since I did this, I started to see this number. Ever since I stopped doing this, I started to see these numbers, or I started to see these spirit animals or these spirit totems, or I started to feel the presence of my spiritual team more, or I started to feel a resistance in regards to being around certain people, right? These are synchronicities, confirmations, and omens, okay? And so that being said, seek the symbols, decipher their meanings, because every meaning in your life with these angel numbers and these synchronicities, they're not always going to be the same. Sometimes they'll change up on you, and sometimes certain numbers will mean the same thing. Sometimes meeting certain people, because sometimes people don't get angel numbers. Sometimes people have people that show up, right? They have people like me, like a reader that will just pop up on their stream, right? And they'll, give them the message, and then that's it, right? Sometimes people bump into people in like face to face on the road, like in the store or something, and they'll say something, and they're strangers, but the person answers something for them that they didn't even know that they needed the answer to, right? So looking at these things moving forward is also significant in terms of your healing, right? It's going to help your healing flow easier. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and move into the assistance that you're getting. All right. The assistance and the psychic or spiritual gift development that is taking place for y'all. All right. And I'm going to use the Metaphysical Cannabis Oracle deck for this one. All right. We'll see what comes out for you guys. All right. So in regards to their next phase, what assistance are they going to be receiving? What assistance are they going to be receiving? Sexuality. All right, let me just cover up a little bit. Sexuality. All right. So I will say this goes hand in hand with the intimacy and the lust. So you're getting assistance in regards to like I would say like your sex life, okay, specifically. And then there's more dolphins. There's 1, 2, 3, and 2 over here. So there's 5 dolphins. So I would say like what you're attracted to. All right. You're getting you're getting assistance with familiarizing yourself what you're attracted to and what you're not attracted to. And that goes back to like the whole temptation thing. Like what is tempting and what's like a turn off for you. All right. We have peace. And I talked about like you guys being very attractive right now. And that's your current energy. Like this is your vibe. Your vibe is like you look good, you feel good, you like looking at yourself, right? You may be taking more pictures, you may be experimenting with outfit changes, hairstyle changes, makeup. All right, there's a little kitty in the background. All right, some of you guys may have pets. Okay, like this is your aesthetic right now. Okay, maybe changing your hair. If it's usually straight, now it's curly. If it's usually curly, now it's straight. If you usually have your hair down, your hair might be up. If your hair is up, is now down. Maybe experimenting with like twists or curls, or some of you guys may be trying out wigs, like whatever it is. Like I do feel like this is like you're just getting to know yourself a little bit more. And some of you guys could be smoking. All right, she does have a little joint in her hand right there. Let's boom, the close up in her hand. Right. We're talking about peace, or like, and then I'm also seeing like music. All right, headphones, a mixer. Okay. It's like bottoms are loose. Okay, we have family here. Family could be helping you. Family assisting you. So you not just assisting yourself in your healing journey, you're also being assisted by your family. Okay. And this could be your mundane family, right? Your blood relatives, but this could also be like your bloodline, your ancestors. Okay, because that mirror is there. And I take mirrors as portals. Okay. It could be in this next phase of assistance. There's something here in regards to whatever is broken in regards to family, it coming back together. And then we have glam again. We have different body types here. Some of you guys are thick, curvy, and some of you guys are a little slender, but you got some curves. All right, you got something to work with. All right. Drinking your glass of wine could be significant. Okay, but I don't see like alcohol specifically. So maybe like one glass of wine or two glasses of wine occasionally. All right. In terms of the assistance, though, I do see here we go loyalty and transcend. Whoever's going to be helping you, they're going to be loyal to you. You have friendship, okay, with a dog. All right. If you guys have animals, if you have like a pet, a furry pet, all right, a snuggly wuggly pet, they're going to be helping you. If you guys have plants in your home, the plant medicine is going to be healing you and helping you and assisting you, especially with your ancestors because of skull, right? And then the family. Yeah, I do feel like ancestors are going to also be a big effect here for you guys. And then we have grace. So yeah, I do feel like there's a lot of energy shifting in order for you to get the assistance and the help that you need. All right. In terms of gifts that could be developing right now, I would say anything to do with the arts, music, talents, arts and craft, doing things with your hands, creative things, things that like I'm seeing like perfume. So like things that you can make. All right. So you can make soaps and perfumes and um, body creams and body washes and oils and possible like lip stains and stuff like that. Like that's what I'm seeing. So channeling your creative energy is what I'm seeing here for y'all in regards to that. All right. So definitely spiritual gifts that are developing have to do with elemental energies, earthy energies. All right. Oshun could be helping you guys. Definitely. That's another factor that I'm seeing here too. Okay. What are the obstacles that they're overcoming? Okay. Recharge. Breathe. Let go. Clear your mind. Obstacle that you're overcoming is stressing out too fast, too quickly, overwhelming yourself, right? Holding on to things for too much, holding on to your breath. Okay, that could be a thing that happens, because when you're tense and you're stressed out, you tend to like forget to breathe, right? So that could be a thing for some of you guys. Obstacle that you're overcoming, issues with breathing. Okay, envy, that came up in the reverse. We have resentful, competitive, discontent. And so you're actually shifting out of this energy. You've actually already overcome this, but it did come out anyway. So this is something that you're still facing. You could have been dealing with people that have been sending you evil eye or are envious to you, or this could have been a shadow attribute of yours where unknowingly, subconsciously, you could have, been hating on somebody, or you could have, denied yourself access to certain things and experiences because you were discontent about certain things and you didn't move on from certain things. Again, clear your mind, right? Not letting something go, some experiencing something like rent free in your head that was not allowing you to persevere. All right. So whatever thing that you were trying to let go of, you're finally releasing. All right. What are the other obstacles that they're overcoming? We have clinginess in the reverse. All right. So that whole open and close situation, on and off, that is being overcome. The situation with the old exes, that's being overcome. Dead end relationships, that's being overcome. Old ways, the old version of you, okay? You're overcoming this situation. So no more open and close, on and off, okay? We have time. Oh my gosh, if time was your biggest factor, I don't have time. When am I going to have the time? Oh my gosh, I'm late. Oh my gosh, I didn't do that yet. Oh, I don't feel like doing that. All of that, or I'm too busy, right? So we have delay, procrastination, too busy, right? And so whatever that time constraint issue was that you were having, you're finally overcoming it, whether that means creating an agenda and a schedule that works for you when it comes to work and your personal time and your vacation time and your leisure time, that is being tweaked right now in order for you to overcome that particular obstacle. Okay. And then we have hopeful here, and that was in the reverse. So if you have issues with losing faith, if you've had issues with just being a little bit more open-minded, right? So we have success here. We have inspired. We have optimistic. Okay. So this was in the reverse. So if you were, again, with that pessimism, right? And I don't know why it's not, it's doing the thing again for the Zoom. Oh, there's something here in regards to the sunsets. Or maybe it's not sunsets, maybe it's a sunrise. Okay. Maybe you had issues with like being able to see the sunset or the sunrise, right? And then something's happening here with your time, right? Timing. So your schedule, so you'll be able to catch the sunset or you'll be able to catch the sunrise. You'll be able to have that day at least for you to be able to see that and experience that, right? I also feel like if you've been having any blockages, any writer's block, lack of creativity, I feel like you're overcoming that too. All right. What other obstacles are there overcoming? What other obstacles are they overcoming? All right, we have sipping, gossip, nosy, all right, rumors. If you had a bad habit of sipping on that tea, and I'm not talking about the green tea, I do feel like you're getting out of that bad habit. All right. Again, with the, where is it? The magnifying glass in the reverse, you don't really care. It's like I don't really care. I don't want to get into that gossip. I don't want to get into that, I don't want to be newsy. I don't want to spread anything. I don't want to know anything. I don't want to be involved in those rumors, right? So have your boundaries in regards to things that are not your business. All right. You're overcoming those obstacles. And for those of you that maybe you were, let's not say that the toxic trait was you starting the rumors or engaging in the rumors. Maybe the rumors were taking a hold of your life. Maybe you were the main character of the rumors that people were spreading on you, and maybe that consumed you for a while, and now you just don't care. You just don't care. Like, I don't care what they have to say about me. I don't care if they don't like the way I dress, or they don't like my makeup, or they don't like my brand, or they don't like the person that I'm dating. I don't care anymore, right? That's the energy that you're in, and you're overcoming that. You're not letting that rule your life, right? And then we have cutting ties, and that's in the reverse, all right? So we have freedom, standing up, and awaken, all right? So I do feel like for you guys, what you're overcoming is the whole situation. It was hard for you to release someone. It was hard for you to let something go. It was hard for you not to talk to someone, or to like look at their social media accounts and see what they're doing next, or checking in with other people to see what's going on with that person, or what's going on in that location, in that place, or whatever with that circumstance. And now you're overcoming that. Like, you don't have to sit there and know about what's going on with that person, or know about what that person's trying to say about you, or if that person's interested in you. There's no reason. Like, you're completely done with that. You're overcoming that specific situation, right? Then we have karmics in the reverse here. So you guys definitely did experience third party situations. Now, third party situations doesn't always have to be a love affair. Third party situations just means, there was a situation happening between me and my friend, and my friend's friends, or my friend's family, or my friend's ex-boo decided to get in the middle of this third party, right? Third party situations can also be business wise. Like, I work for this company, and the other company that I'm going to start working for is going to steal me from the company that I'm currently working for, right? Like, it just depends on what your situation is, right? So third party situations, you're getting out of karmic situations, right? You're overcoming karmic contracts, karmic agreements, karmic partnerships, relationships, and scenarios, right? You are finally overcoming the haterade situations that you've been experiencing. And it was very hard for you to learn some lessons, but now you're overcoming that, right? You're overcoming the fact that, it was hard for you to learn the lesson, but you learned it, right? And that's what really matters here. And we're going to get your final closing message. All right. And we're going to get it from the Herbal Astrology. And I love this deck so much. I call it the Her Astrology. But I love it. And I hope that you guys enjoy this message too. All right. Closing message. What is the closing message here for them? Here it is. We have the wounded healer. Well, my love, that means that you are in your journey to healing. And your path is to heal not only yourself, but others. And as you're healing yourself, you can heal other people. Dandelion tea can also be significant for you guys. All right. And then we have cat's claw with purification. All right. Purifying your energy may help you enhance your intuition. All right. But that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Thank you, Crowllies, for sharing the sacred space with me. May the crow call echo wisdom on your path. May your wings grow stronger, and may your vision stay clear as you move forward. If today's message spoke to you, carry them gently in your spiritual journey. And remember, Spirit always knows how to find you when you're ready. Until next time, I will see you guys again. May you be blessed, protected, and divinely guided. Fly well, my flock of Crowllies. Peace.